Hello everyone, we are the Group 3 and we are here to report about fundamentals of taxation. Taxation. Taxation is the price of being a citizen, so politicians and citizens often argue about how much taxation is too little or too much. Purpose of taxation. Taxes are mainly used to finance the expenses incurred by government to manage an economy. These expenses include healthcare, education, garbage collection, and operating government business entities. Taxation is also used by government for several other purposes. A tax is required payment to local, state, or national government. Government uses taxes on alcohol and cigarettes are to discourage people from using them.
The power of taxation is, however, subject to constitutional and inherent limitations. Are those provided for in the Constitution or implied from its provisions, while a restriction to the power to tax attached to its nature.
The power of taxation is, however, subject to constitutional and inherent limitations.
Observance of due process of law and equal protection of the laws. Rule of uniformity and equity in taxation. No imprisonment for non-payment of toll tax. Non-impairment of obligation and conduct. Prohibition against infringement of religious freedom. Prohibition against appropriations for religious purposes. Exemptions of all revenues and assets of non-profit educational institutions used actually, directly, and exclusively for educational purposes from income, property, and donors' taxes and custom duties. Concurrence by a majority of all members of Congress in the passage of law granting tax exemptions.
Double taxation. It can occur when income is taxed at both the corporate level and personal level. Double taxation also occurs in international trade when the same income is taxed in two different countries. Double taxation is often an unintended consequence of tax legislation. It is generally seen as a negative element of a tax system, and tax authorities attempt to avoid it whenever possible. Double taxation of corporations and shareholders, international double taxation.
Tax avoidance and tax evasion both are meant to reduce the tax liability ultimately, but what makes the difference is that the former is justified in the eyes of the law and it does not make any offense or break any law.
As indicated above, they are enumerated below. A tax is total voluntary payment or donation, and its position is no way dependent upon the will or assent, open or implied, of the person taxed. Unless qualified by law, the term taxes or tax is usually understood to be pecuniary burden. A tax is laid by some rule of appointment, according which persons share the public burden. A tax may also be imposed on acts, transaction, rights, or privilege. In each case, however, it is only a person who pays the tax. The object to be taxed must be subject to the jurisdiction of the taxing state. The power to tax is a legislative power which, under the Constitution, only Congress can exercise through the enactment of tax statutes. Taxation involves an tax constitute charge or burden imposed to government, the administration of law, or the payment of public expenses.
Created using Powtoon.